Hey Grace family, and welcome back to our midweek check-in. So last Sunday we worked our way through verses 22 and 30 of John chapter 3, which ends by saying, "He must increase, but I must decrease." So we talked about 4 principles for advancing God's kingdom and landed on the big idea that we advance God's kingdom when we make much of Jesus and little of self. But one thing we didn't spend a lot of time looking on is how verse 29 ends. And it ends by saying, "Therefore this joy of mine is now complete." And John's joy was complete because he had faithfully lived out his God-given purpose of preparing the way for Jesus. For us today, when we're talking about advancing God's kingdom and the verse that he must increase, but I must decrease, it can certainly be a challenge to lay down our lives daily. But here's a simple truth that I want to encourage you with today. When we faithfully lay down our lives to live out God's purpose for our lives, we too can find joy. Oftentimes we feel like we're overwhelmed, exhausted, and stressed out in everyday life, but what if we feel that way because we're trying to advance our kingdom instead of His? So I want to encourage you today, if you stay fixed on Jesus, if you stay fixed on living out your God-given purpose of glorifying Him and making disciples, then no matter what life throws your way, you too can say that your joy is complete. If we take a minute and remember that the biblical definition of joy is calm delight, we can have that calm delight every day if we choose to stay fixed and focused on God and His kingdom. So wherever you find yourself this week, whatever you're doing, make sure you're doing it for your God-given purpose to glorify God and make disciples. And just like John, you too can find your joy complete. So church, have a great rest of your week. Know that I love you, that I'm praying for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you Sunday morning at 9 a.m.